Welcome, everybody, to Den Excelsior episode 189.
Pretty far
I'm
in
Chris
there.
Ricky. With me for every episode, Dennis.
What's that? We're going for 500, baby.
Going 500. We are talking about James Gunn's Superman. The first movie to be called Superman, technically.
Hey, I'm just going to put this out there really quick because I don't know what happened between the show starting and before the show, but your audio got a little weird. You sound very echoey, like you're coming out of the wrong system. So I will just talk right now while you figure things out. Yeah, we're going to talk about James Gunn's Superman. It is my most anticipated movie of the year. I know Ricky had some doubts for sure, and you'll hear all about those later tonight. But you know, if you've ever watched the show or listened to the show, you know that Ricky and I do not ever talk about the thing that we promised you right away. We like to talk about all kinds of other stuff, nerd related, mostly Marvel. But you know, obviously in this case, it's not a whole Marvel centered episode. What was that?
Am I back?
You're back.
Yay!
I don't know what happened there, but I feel the time. I feel the time for you.
I don't know what happened.
It was perfect before you did the intro, and then all of a sudden it went weird. And I'm like, oh no. That's the definition of what a sound check is for, and it failed us. It failed us there. It's okay. Repaired.
Superman.
I don't want to give too much away about that one yet, but
okay.
I am curious to hear what kind of. I promise we're gonna give that one enough time. So we won't spend too much time talking about the other stuff that we like to, but I do want to know what you've been nerding out on this week.
Ooh, finished The Bear. I don't know if it's as good as I think season 2 of The Bear is probably peak Bear, but they do another thing in season 4 where they bring in the family, right? Because you've seen season 2.
I've seen season 2. I have barely watched season 3.
Okay,
I've watched
the episode in season the episode in season 2 where everyone's in it.
Thanksgiving.
They do another one of those for a different reason, and it's kind of amazing, and also just the flex of look who we got to be in our
right,
really good
John
show.
Mulaney and Jamie Lee Curtis and a lot of other
but
people,
more
right?
time. Yes.
Yeah.
The usuals and more. So that's
cool.
always fun, but I'm happy that it's kind of weird because the season does end. It has a nice okay, but then they also announced the season 5. So
really, that should just keeps going, man. I mean, in fairness, Jeremy Allen White did 1 billion seasons of Shameless, so he's pretty loyal to whatever show he's on.
He's about to be Bruce Springsteen now.
Springsteen, really?
Yeah, he's a biopic. If you want to hear him sing, then what else did I watch? What you're gonna?
Damn it!
I thought I had a choice. Born to Run.
I thought I had a choice.
I watched the Abbott Elementary Sunny in Philadelphia crossover, but the second one. Did you watch it?
Of course I did. I have watched Sunny in Philadelphia for as long as I can remember. I didn't catch it when the show first started, but I jumped in probably around season 3, and I binged after binging the whole ones, and I've been watching it ever since. Usually the week that it comes out. That episode was great. Did you watch the one after it?
I did not.
Oh, they did. They dropped 2 episodes, and I was really happy they dropped 2 because I felt like it was a little too late on that Abbott crossover. That was
there's
months
2 Abbott
ago.
Elementary episodes, or is it just the one Abbott? Sorry, is it 2 Sunny Abbotts, or is it?
No. It's 1 Sunny Abbott and 1 Abbott Abbott, Abbott Sunny, whatever. But I'm saying like they dropped the second episode that was just back in regular form, in true form, and I appreciated that because like I didn't really I loved the Abbott one. Don't get me wrong.
The production level on the Abbott one's like insane compared to typical.
It was really good, but it felt more like an Abbott episode still, which is a credit to Sunny in that like they have always been able to do any style of show, or like they're great at imitating genres all the time. There's an entire like multi episodes about like them recreating Lethal Weapons and like making like more Lethal Weapons, or Die Hard. They they do it all. So like it was nice.
It was nice to see the Abbott people be down to clown A, to let them be down to clown, but also the Sunny crew. The swearing's hilarious, but the context of a inner city school in Philadelphia and the demographics of those children paired with the Sunny children is like, I didn't think they were going to go there, but the fact that they did go there was like, some of the best bits.
They're a very smart group of people, and also like as far as performance goes, they are probably one of the most well-oiled machines in all of television, and that's why they're on season 18. Because when you put all 5 of them in a room together and let them go, it's nuts, man. It's like the banter is so fast, so stupid, and like the timing of it all is so good. That's why like I highly recommend you watch the second episode of the season, because that's just back to them doing their thing, and their thing is so stupid all the time. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I will just say that like how the gang always like splits off in different things. Like one of them will be like, I'm really angry about this thing, we should go do that, and a bunch of them will pair off, and then the other ones are like, I'm upset about this totally other thing, we're gonna go do that, and then you get an episode following 2 groups of them. In this one it was like Frank was just watching Is It Cake on Netflix, and he's just fascinated by this show, and he really wants them to be into it, but they're like talking about what happens when he dies, like what are they going to do and stuff, and so they have no interest in this Is It Cake thing, and then they're just like, I wish you would just die so we could just like move on and stuff, and he's like, you don't mean that, and then all of a sudden like while they're arguing, like he has like a heart attack or something like that and ends up in a coma. And so like all of them are dealing with like the different ways they want to process Frank dying possibly or whatever, but like it's episode 2 of the show. Frank's not gonna die, okay? I'm just putting that out there. Like he ain't. I think Danny DeVito's perfectly happy on that show.
Danny DeVito's pretty old.
Danny DeVito's old. I'm not saying Danny DeVito won't die one day, but I'm just like, for now, I think he really enjoys still being a party to all of that madness. So it's good. It's really good. Like that show never stops being good. And then a side note, did you notice that like Rob McElhenney officially changed his name?
No, he had the Olsen?
No, he did not add the Olsen. He dropped the El Henny. His name is now Rob Mack, because he actually put out an announcement like on social media like the week before, just saying he's so damn tired of everyone in Hollywood not being able to pronounce his name, that he finally just for artistic purposes changed his name to Rob Mack. It's pretty funny.
He didn't change his name really. He probably just his SAG name, right?
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. When I say for artistic purposes, I mean like for professional purposes. I'm assuming he's not actually changing his legal marriage name and everything. And yeah, but anyways, that's a high. I'm happy you watched that show. It's a great one.
But I think that's it. What have you been? I tried to watch Jurassic Park, but that didn't work out. And then, I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
I don't blame you.
I want to see it.
I mean, Sinners is on Max now. Sorry, it is now once again HBO Max. Good thing I had a hard time ever calling it Max until today. So Sinners is there. It came out 10 weeks ago. So, I mean, there's a good chance Jurassic World will be on Peacock in 10 weeks from now, or 9 weeks, because it came out a week ago or something like that. Yeah. No, I've been watching Resident Alien. I've been watching wrestling, and then I've been watching Andor, man. Andor, I can't binge it. It's like watching Breaking Bad. I don't care if it's like some of the best Star Wars ever. It's painful to watch the Empire literally doing all the things that I can go turn on the news and see in real life. It's rough. But it is a wonderfully written show, wonderfully performed. I can't stop like loving Skarsgård on that one. Which Skarsgård is on that one?
Not Bill, not Alexander, the dad, right?
Stellan. Yes.
He's their dad, right?
He's their dad. Yeah, okay. He's their dad. I love Stellan Skarsgård on Andor. He is, but I'm waiting. Like, I think my assumption at this point is like, you're all gonna die unless you're in Rogue One, right? Like, I feel like they can't, like, if you're, granted, if you're Forrest Whitaker, Mon Mothma, or Cassian Andor, sorry, I mean Saw Gerrera, not Forrest Whitaker, you're gonna make it. You know what I mean? But like,
I feel like they all can come out of it.
They could, I guess, yeah. Like, but I'm on edge all the time, waiting for different people to get it, especially Stellan. I just feel like Luthen's character, he plays fast, not fast and loose, but he plays a dangerous game. So, but it's a fantastic show. Yeah, I think that's about it. I've been playing a little Clair Obscura here and there, but not enough to satisfy my needs. Yeah.
Have you been playing or even made aware of what's the new Marvel game that came out? The
Mystic Mayhem or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I downloaded it and I played like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, it's pretty.
All right.
It's not my thing though. Like, I don't know. It's so very niche, you know, like, here's the magical versions of your Marvel characters. I'm like, I'd rather just have the regular versions of the Marvel characters. I don't know. It was kind of like what was a turnoff of the first time they tried it with Midnight Suns, right? Like, I feel like they're trying to reuse a lot of art that was made for Midnight Suns. A lot of effort went into Midnight Suns, and that game did not do what
people did not appreciate that game.
No, it's because they just wanted XCOM, but with Marvel. And those guys just wouldn't give us XCOM with Marvel. They wanted to give us a card game and a dating game. And it's like, what are we doing here? Yeah. It's not what I want. But anyways.
All right. Well, should we get into some news?
Yeah, I want to know what's going on.
Where should we begin? This is probably the biggest Marvel news that came out during the week. Let me pull that up. Sinners producer Sev Ohanian was on a podcast last week talking about the movie and the successes, but kind of dropped this nugget that the costumes for that movie were actually purchased from Marvel. They were actually made for a Blade movie that was very close to production that got canceled.
I heard about that.
And that's kind of crazy how close that movie got. And to be fair, there were leaks at the time of like, this is going to be a period piece movie or a movie set during this time. to some capacity, but it kind of really hits home when you're like, oh shit, there's like stuff is made.
They were close. They were close there. Yeah. I'm glad that Sinners got made instead of Blade. Honestly, like I think it's whatever Blade ends up being, it ain't gonna be Sinners. All right, that's just it doesn't need to be, but I'm just saying like it's not gonna be. So don't get those expectations in there. But yeah, that was fascinating. I think I saw a clip of like the whole like breakdown of that on the internet, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty cool, and also sad that this movie is still not in production. It's not, right?
No, they do have an empty slot, I believe next year. So Marvel has an empty movie slot next year in the fall. Mm-hmm. Sorry, sometime in I think it is the fall. That people don't really know what's up because Doomsday is a Christmas movie now. Spider-Man's still in July, so it could be that they could give up the slot, but Blade is nowhere to be found at this point.
That's a bummer, man. I just want more mystical in the universe, and I just want I want all the toys to play with each other. You know what I mean? Like I want to get I already feel like we missed an entire wave of figures or characters, people. They're human beings. They're not figures. We missed an entire wave with the OG Avengers. You know what I mean? Like it's less and less likely that we're going to get the OG Avengers to hang out with the new school characters. And the longer we take to get these things rolling, like I don't want to see how old Pedro Pascal gets before we get Avengers versus X-Men. Okay. I mean, Fantastic Four X-Men is what I meant to say. What?
I mean, you might get that in next year, to be fair.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's go. I want them all to be on screen together once, and then I'm good.
All right. You said Fantastic Four. Some mild Comic-Con news. If you're a D23 member, they're doing some screenings in Mission Valley on the Thursday, actually at noon, which is kind of interesting.
I just want to point this out for anybody who is not familiar with the theaters of San Diego. It was on a previous podcast, a previous episode of this podcast, that we had somehow gotten into the conversation of talking about Mission Valley. And I mentioned that I had just got done watching this video and this guy going through all of San Diego, reviewing all of the movie theaters. And he just did this amazing scathing review of how the Mission Valley Theater, which used to be one of the greatest theaters in San Diego, is now easily the worst and most dilapidated theater in San Diego.
It's the worst, but it's not the best.
Well, he said it's the worst.
It's the worst for sure in Mission Valley. Yeah, I'll feel good saying that. There's 3 movie theaters within a mile of each other.
Yeah.
So,
and you could do a lot better than the Mission Valley one.
You can do a lot better than any of the Mission Valley.
But here's the other thing though, too. Like, for all the people going to Comic-Con, that's like really annoying that they have to for people flying in from other places.
Charlie, it's sad that they cannot make a downtown movie theater work there.
Yeah,
I used to love I think it was the Regal.
United Artists at Horton Plaza.
But there was one on Broadway, or there was one off. You went where I did the film festival thing.
Oh. Was that Regal? It might have been. It might have been Regal.
That theater kicked ass, and then it closed, and then someone bought it again, and then it's closed again. So
it was Gaslamp, right?
It was Gaslamp, and then Grom's bought it.
Yeah,
but
that's unfortunate.
If you don't know where Mission Valley is in relation to Comic-Con, and you're gonna go to this thing, it's a fucking hike. So
it ain't close.
But you can see it at noon. That is kind of cool, I will say.
Missing Prime Comic-Con to go watch a movie?
I skipped out Comic-Con to watch Captain America: The First Avenger, but that was like at 9 on a
That's
Wednesday.
not skipping out on
Thursday.
Comic-Con, dude. That's not skipping out on Comic-Con. The show closes at 7 o'clock. I don't have a problem with you doing adventures after hours in Comic-Con.
No, it was 9 a.m.
Oh, well, that's disgusting.
But I saw you got a cool little hat. It was kind of a cool flex.
As long as you liked it, as long as you enjoyed the experience. But I wouldn't give up Comic-Con for a movie.
Continuing the Comic-Con news. Peacemaker's coming to Comic-Con. James Gunn is coming to Comic-Con. John Cena's coming to Comic-Con for Peacemaker Season 2. But get this, it's actually not happening at Comic-Con.
Oh
it's
my
happening
God.
at the Nova on 6th Avenue. Peace Fest. So they're setting up the club it's a nightclub that they're setting up to be like a little Peacemaker activation, where they're actually going to be doing the panels for this thing. With music by Steel Panther and Foxy Shazam. But
that's weird, man.
If you want to go see James Gunn and the entire cast of Peacemaker, you got to go to the Nova on 6th Avenue. So.
Do you have to like sign up in advance and stuff?
Yes, there's a whole sign up thing. The website's broken.
And what time is it? Like during the day, or is it like?
Yeah, during the day. Oh, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, so the cast is going to be hanging out there all 3 days?
No, their thing's a separate, like its own thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
that's a bummer, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting all like. Not is it compartmentalized? I don't know.
I've noticed more people are doing stuff on Thursday or on Tuesday now.
Tuesday, yeah. There's a lot of stuff on Tuesday. To like a lot of local artists and stuff will go do signings at places around San Diego and stuff. That's kind of a bummer. Yeah, I assumed they would be going on into Hall H on Saturday morning. But boy, now there's really no reason to go to Hall H on Saturday. Like,
they're actually the big reason to go to Hall H. Actually, no, you're right. Sunday's the big thing. It was announced today that George Lucas is going to be at Comic-Con for the first time on Sunday.
Whoa!
With a panel hosted by Queen Latifah and Guillermo del Toro.
What is that panel?
It's for his the Lucas Museum that's opening up, I think, at the end of the year here in LA.
And he's never been to Comic-Con, dude.
Never been to Comic-Con.
Nuts.
That place is going to be roaring for that man and Queen Latifah.
Crazy. That is crazy. And no, not and Queen Latifah.
The Equalizer.
Yes, thanks. Thanks for reminding me about her most recent role. I'm not hating on Queen Latifah. I'm just saying not even in the same stratosphere. Okay, like just not like it's as far as Comic-Con.
You're telling me out of GDT, George Lucas and Queen Latifah, she's the lowest ranked person there?
Yes, at Comic-Con. At Comic-Con. Okay. Yes. How many Comic-Cons has she been to?
I would bet more than George
Probably.
Lucas.
Probably. You're probably right. Yeah. Well, anyways, in any case, that is crazy news. I really have been like completely like blocking out like what is going on in Comic-Con, and I need to give this weekend some time.
There's the schedule's coming out day by day. There's my highlight so far is probably going to be the King of the Hill stuff. But it's a Tron year. I am very interested in the George Lucas thing.
That's crazy, dude.
So just mapping out. I will say for a non-Marvel convention or non-Marvel year, it does make it a little more interesting because now I have to make choices about what I'm going to, right?
Yeah. I get why you like the Marvel because it takes away the choice for you. And you just commit to go to it. But I like having the choices every day. So
well, we'll wrap up the news. We'll be going to the Marvel Legends panel, which will be on Friday at 11:30 a.m.
No choice on that one.
In the usual room to see.
You know it will be minus Ryan Ting, right?
Yes, that was other news that I don't want to bring up, but yes.
Oh yeah, I feel bad about that, man. That's like that guy's been like a Marvel legend, like pun intended.
Well, he's been there since the reboot, right?
He's been there. Yeah. No. He was at Marvel for 12 years, or sorry, at Hasbro for 12 years. I think he started in board games and children's games and stuff like that, but he eventually made it over to the Marvel team. So I don't know if he's been there for the entire time of the reboot, but like I'm saying, like the thing, like I actually wrote him a message on Instagram when he posted about the layoff, because they eliminated his position, which is such a corporate thing to do, is to promote a guy to like, director of blah blah blah, and then eliminate that position and just keep the cheaper guy. It's a known thing. It sucks. And I'm sure he'll be fine career wise, but like it was so cool to see like all the different toy people that came to celebrate him on his Instagram and stuff. And I was just letting him know, like like regardless of where you end up and stuff, like and regardless of how you feel about how this career at Hasbro ended, dude, look at the people in your comments, man. Like you made a community. Like they really do they fostered a community, and they made it okay for adults to talk about and play with toys, and they've normalized that, and it's a really cool thing.
I will say the room where that panel happens at is actually, it's not that big.
It's not, and they
it's
need
fairly
a bigger
small
room
for Comic-Con standards. But I think my favorite part of the past couple years going with you and just being in this space is the first like 5 rows of that room are pretty much all of your favorite toy influencers. And it's cool. Like they're literally anyone. I don't say who's anyone, but the heavy hitters are there, and it's actually not a lot of them. You realize how
they made
small,
me take
how
a photo.
niche. Yeah,
they made me take a photo with them because they consider me one of them, because I'm the guy who does the charts, and like I'm that guy.
You're the chart guy. Yeah,
I'm the chart guy, and they're like, you got to get in here on this picture, and I was like, well, that's cool, man. I appreciate that, but yeah, no, it's like 10 or 11 people, or maybe a little. It's more than that. It's probably like 20 dudes, but they're all they've carved a space out on the internet for people to go and watch them review toys or talk about what they like most about these things and stuff. But I credit a lot of that to this Marvel Legends team, because they made it okay. Like they started making toys that are clearly not for kids a long time ago, and it's cool, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make it a downer or whatever, but I have hope. I have hope that he's gonna land on his feet.
Go to McFarlane.
I was giving you a segue with hope. Let's go.
Oh, well, they did announce a Spider-Man Hellfire Gala figure releasing during Comic-Con, online exclusive.
I saw a cynical person talking about who wants that, and I'm like, I want it.
It's another Spider-Man.
It's
don't know what it looks like. Go look them up.
I don't know why you'd ever say who wants that. Like, it's Spider-Man in a different costume. Like, is the thing called Spider-Verse. Like, why don't I want every single Spider-Man ever? So it's a no-brainer for sure.
All right, now we can be a little more hopeful. Hope.
Nice.
Superman. I want to say Legacy. Superman, the movie. Not even the movies, just Superman.
It's just Superman, dude. It's just called Superman. And I'm down for that to just be called Superman. Like it's strange. It was strange for you to tell me that the old movie from 78 was never actually called Superman. It was called Superman the movie. And so yeah, cool. I'm very happy, because like I thought it was a little douchey to call a Superman movie Man of Steel. I understand they were building up to Superman the way Dark Knight was, or Batman Begins starts with Batman, and then they got douchey afterwards. Like
I mean,
I'm
I think
okay.
it's equally douchey to call the first movie in your thing Superman Legacy,
Which is why they didn't.
which is why they didn't.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They had the restraint. Like, I think that's the biggest thing that I can say, like, is interesting about this movie is there's a lot of restraint in things that James Gunn has been known for doing. And I think he showed himself to be more, I guess, mature in this movie in some ways. And so what you get is a Superman movie that honestly the plot is quite similar, spoilers, to Man of Steel, but somehow everything ends up in a much more joyful place. Like, I mean, it's the same idea, right? Because like I know you haven't watched the old Superman movies, but like
Mhm.
I promise you, in the old movies, there was no conversation about that guy's too powerful. We need to figure out if we can trust him. You know what I mean? Like
No,
that was
it's a very modern Superman
that's a modern
premise
thing.
or story. Yeah.
And that's a byproduct of the world that we live in now, right? So like the world that Superman lived in back when he was created is very different than it is now. And so it did make sense, you know, to still do that story, but James Gunn chose to fill that story with a sense of aspiration, right? Like he had a moral compass that was stronger than anybody else's in that entire movie. And I think that's the thing that made me really love this movie. Like I thought I would. Like I thought I would, and I was so happy to see the joy in it. I think I don't think that's a bad thing to ask for in a Superman movie. You know what I mean? And I know you love Man of Steel. I know some other friends of ours love Man of Steel, but this was closer to what I wanted out of a Superman movie. Do I think it's perfect? Sadly, no. I might have been asking for too much. I might have flown too close to the sun with expectations, because I think ultimately, honestly, the real expectation I had for this movie is I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry because I wanted to be like so overwhelmed with the sense of joy and hopefulness.
Mhm.
And they never quite got me there. They never got me to full on
Yeah,
break,
they got
you know.
close.
Yeah, and I thought it was a reasonable expectation only because multiple Guardians of the Galaxy movies have made me cry, and I don't remember if I cried in Suicide Squad, but
Well, just so I know you like the movie.
Mhm.
Is it better than Guardians 1?
No. I actually the first thing I said when I came out of that movie is the Guardians movies are better.
All three,
Yeah.
but better than Suicide Squad.
I think this is probably better than Suicide Squad in that I don't go around watching Suicide Squad often. And
I feel the same way. I just didn't know how. Like, it gives me a good comparison now because I do know how much you like the Guardians movies, but I think I'm with you where the movie's a win. Like
it's definitely a win.
It's a good movie. I think it does a really good job of setting up that world, setting up who Clark is, Kal-El is, and
Well, he's really more Clark than he is Kal-El in this story, right?
Mhm.
Like that's kind of
he has a personality. I mean,
yeah.
uh,
He's not the best boyfriend in the world, but he's learning.
mhm.
I'm just saying, in case you didn't know this, Ricky, when you're celebrating your 3-month, anniversary with your girlfriend, you don't break into her apartment and make your favorite meal for her.
Yeah, it's a choice. That was a choice.
It's a choice, but I appreciate that he's kind of clumsy with it. You know what I mean? Like he. I appreciate that he has arguments with Lois. You know, like it's a mature thing to have an argument with your significant other, and they have some pretty serious ones, and it's cool. But continue what you were saying. Sorry.
No, I like what this movie gives us and the world sets up, and I'm trying to think of like it doesn't. it doesn't do anything. I don't think it does anything exceptional, right? Like nothing's way out of left field in this movie. Like it finds a nice middle ground. So it's not a safe Superman movie, but it's also not too risk adverse. I think. We got to talk about the twist, right, of the origin story.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is kind of a safe movie. I think James Gunn had a lot of easy wins that he knew he could pull off by just referencing a lot of comic books and just sticking to that. And I think honestly the best part of the movie for me is the beginning. The little title sequence, or like the little like 300 years ago, like the history lesson we're getting. That and the music rising, like as you're feeling the tension build, like where it's building up to this 3 minutes ago, this happened. He lost his first battle, and you're like, oh my God, like what's happening here? That part of the movie was super exciting. And then everything else of it was about as exciting, but never more exciting for me. I think
it was like a step above Paint by Numbers. But
yes,
given the fact that we have not, I say this because I've not watched the old Superman movies, but of recent had a Paint by Numbers Superman movie, like it's a win by default almost. But I don't want that to sound like a knock on this movie, but
it is a win by default. But I don't think it's Paint by Numbers in that they crammed a lot of crap in this movie.
It is the ultimate toys playing with each other. Every opportunity that they had to have a known character or being inserted, they did. That was cool as shit.
The world felt building very lived in. Like it was very lived in, like so much so that like I let myself, I don't find myself doing this in a lot of movies, but I let suspension of disbelief entirely go when I started noticing how the frequency of world-ending events happening in their universe, to the point where Superman's taking a break from one of them to go hang out in the apartment, and Lois sees a giant interdimensional imp battling with the Justice Gang, and she looks at him and she's like, you want some hot cocoa? Like when that moment happens, if you don't understand that their world is totally different from our world, I don't know what to tell you, man. And so like it forgives, it allows me to forgive comparing it to anything else. You know what I mean? I don't have to compare their reality to something else. Like I know Zack Snyder was so about making Superman feel like the 9/11 of all 9/11s, right? Like it's just like what happens when he just totally obliterates Metropolis. And I'm like, okay, but why does he have to obliterate Metropolis? How about Lex obliterates Metropolis and Superman saves the day? And I think those small choices are what makes this movie awesome. But at the same time, it's not something necessarily we haven't seen before. But like, yeah, it's remixed, right? It's a remix of things. Like it's fun to see Green Lantern not suck.
Yeah, you just have a Green Lantern existing, right? You have a Hawk Girl just chilling, and no one's batting an eye on them using their powers or it being. They're just there.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific's just floating around on his throne of T-spheres. Metamorpho exists.
Doing the kryptonite thing, doing the making suns from his hands, like comic books.
It's very comic books, man. It's so comic books. But I think it's really important to note that, like, as much as we sound like it's like this, it's doing a lot of safe things. I think what it does the best, though, is like it nails the point of what Superman is, and I think it's when they have, for me, the whole movie is summed up in that little argument, or like kind of like lovers spat Lois and Clark are having about what it means to be punk. And Lois she decides that she's more punk than Clark because she's an investigative journalist and she questions everything, and she questions everybody's motives all the time. And she's like, and you trust every single person you've ever met in your life. And Clark's response to that is, maybe that's the real punk rock. And I swear that was, for me, if I was going to cry at any part in that movie, that was probably one of the closest moments it got, because that's who this Clark Kent is, right? He believes that the coolest thing you could do is be nice and care about every single person there is, or every single living thing there is. I saw that man go out of his way to try and save a squirrel from a kaiju. And that was so refreshing, because what do I always say? I always say, I just want to see heroes doing heroic shit. And that's all this movie was, from front to back. And I think the reason I don't give it more praise, I wanted so badly for this movie to be like my 10 of 10 of the year. But I think the only reason I don't give it more praise is because, honestly, it doesn't let me ever take a moment to breathe.
Well, it doesn't give the story. It's a very boom, 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 boom.
It's breakneck, man. It's fast.
And I have a similar issue with you in that regard of like the opening. Superman getting beat for the first time. I think personally,
stakes, right? It sets stakes.
It sets stakes, but I think I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. I'm trying to think of the word, but Clark. I wish Clark would have maybe reacted a bit differently post that, right? Imagine you lose for the first time. That's a little different. It's a big deal.
Well, is it? But is it if he's someone who's the embodiment of hope? If he's someone who's the embodiment of hope, could he not just pick himself up and go back at it again? Which is what he does in the movie.
That's what he does.
Yeah. Again, it's not our world they're living in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is not our world. He has a lot of crazy stuff to get thrown at him.
I mean, to be fair, they save that emotional beat for when he finds out his parents' true intentions, or his birth parents' true intentions.
And you can talk about that since I kind of interrupted you when you were.
Oh, no. But to that point, when he goes to his, I'll say his actual parents in
the Kents.
Kansas, and the Kents, which I do like my redneck Kents. I
wasn't gonna call them that.
They
they're technologically challenged, I would say.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's cute.
They had the twang. It worked. I bought into it 100%.
I love them.
I wish the moment with Pa Kent on the stoop or the staircase had a little bit more time to breathe as well.
Yeah,
that's a great message that he gives them, and it's
I do think, and tell me if I'm jaded on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to cry in that moment,
mm-hmm.
But then as he got choked up trying to say the words, "I'm so proud of you," I got weirded out by him being choked out by it, because look, let's not lie. This guy was raised by some good people, because it wasn't his alien parents that made him the way he is. So I have a hard time believing in that moment that this is the first time Jonathan has ever said, "I'm so proud of you" to Clark Kent.
I mean, I take that as someone who grew up in a semi-country setting. Hearing the words "I am so proud of you" is a very big deal, and it's a very hard thing to say.
It is,
but it's out of line to Pa Kent's character, right?
Right. Only given the context of who this Superman is, right? If it was Kevin Costner, I'd be like, yeah, I believe you just said this for the first time ever, and the kid's 30. But I felt the love in that home. I felt the love in that family, and that was a really powerful, awesome thing. It was really cute to see that Lois was there for the first time and taking it all in and seeing wow, this is where the greatest person on this planet came from, and this is really cool. She was studying that whole bedroom up and down, just like taking it all in. And yeah, and so like I don't know if I was being jaded, but I felt weird in that moment where he was on the stoop with his son, and he felt the need
it
tell
just didn't
him.
stick the land. I feel the same way about that scene. I think it's a really great scene. Just
if that scene would have nailed it, I would have been here saying 10 to 10 right now, Ricky. Like I don't know what it was about that scene specifically that
it's like
could
the
have done
hug
right.
afterward too is weird. It's like a weird like side embrace, and
this is not us hating on this movie, by the way. Like this is us.
No,
this is us
I'm really
like,
happy that scene like that. To be honest, I walked to that theater. I'm like, damn, it's a good movie, but
it's a good movie. But
shit, that seems
like,
just it's weird. It's
like
weird at the end.
I can't stop when I'm watching this movie. I couldn't stop thinking about how much the stupid animals in Guardians 3 made me cry my brains out. You know what I mean? Like I was like, you could have easily done something that really got us and like just really hit us in our core and said like, hope, bitches. You know, like I was waiting for the hope moment that just tore me down. And like I almost like I was talking to our good friend Frank earlier today, and the other moment, the moment Frank agrees, by the way, with everything we're saying, is that like it was a fun movie, really fun to watch. But his same critique about most movies, especially Marvel movies, but also James Gunn movies, applied here, in that like every time there was a moment that was about to really hit, they undercut it, usually with a crypto joke.
Yeah.
And it was true. And like the most, like for Frank, the closest he ever got to feeling that strong emotional reaction was at the end when he was with Lex, and when he was explaining.
That's a great scene, but yeah,
that it's humanity. It's his humanity, that he's 100% human. You know what I mean? Like that's what he knows. That's what he strives to be. And so Lex has it all wrong for calling him the alien, you know? And that moment was so good. And then Crypto just shows up and does a Hulk smash on Lex. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and by the way, Lex should be dead from that. That beating he took was vicious, man. Like it was cartoony for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I get why you can't have, right? That's the problem with Batman and the Joker in a fight. Like Batman just beat the shit out of the Joker. Like it's the shenanigans beforehand, and Lex kind of has the same problem when he's not in the power. When he's not in the power suit.
Yeah.
I guess it's. I mean, you could take it as like, okay, now he's gonna build the suit now.
Oh, that's what I want more than anything is to.
But yes, it is. It was like, because you almost feel for Lex in that scene too, and when he's explaining like why he hates this person, and you know they give the mustache twirly. You know, I want to do all this because I hate Superman, but I also get this like land, right? You get that part of Lex.
I also envy him too, which was really yeah. It's by the way, can we agree that was the best Lex Luthor ever put to screen on in live action? That man was putting in work before that movie ever starts. Think about all the stupid Superman things that Superman has to do in that movie. And they're all because Lex made him do those things. Like every fool's errand he goes on in that movie was a plan, in like a step in his grand plan. And I just thought that was so cool. That was like, I promise you, when you watch the original Superman, you will not be nearly as impressed with Lex Luthor in that movie. Like it just, him and Superman, just those two things, they didn't matter to each other at the beginning of the movie. But in this movie, like even they've never met before, and Superman already knows that Lex Luthor is his greatest enemy. So when that dog goes missing, he busts through that door and says, "What'd you do with my dog?" And he's like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you in person for the first time." And I thought that was so cool. That
well, he also does the thing, right? Like everyone's like, "Why doesn't he just go kick Lex's ass?" And like, he do it. Like where's the dog? Like,
yeah,
they that ultimately though, I will say, like Crypto the story reasons to why to add a crypto make more sense after watching this movie. Like he's kind of like this weird gateway to have
more fun, right?
Well, more fun, but more Superman things happen without actually having Superman do them to make it weird.
Yeah, for sure. He can do like, yeah. I think I think the thing the movie does best is, for however much you feel every previous version of Superman in the movies has been like the most Superman, if you've ever read Superman comics at all, you cannot argue that this is not the most Superman movie. Like, it is, they pull from all of the lore that they could, you know what I mean? Like, and they do it so fast that, like, you know, like, it's one thing to add Krypton, or I mean, sorry, the Fortress of Solitude. It's another thing entirely to have the Superman robots and to have crypto and to have like the machine that channels the solar energy straight into him for his very painful healing, like super fast healing. Like, there was so much cool going on in every scene that was establishing Superman lore that I was like, wow. And it's all works because he's such an integral part of the zeitgeist that we all know Superman's story, right? So that we don't even need to retread it. And I think that's the best part of this movie, is instead of retread it, let's show all the weird stuff that for some reason has never made it to the screen before, right? I can't believe that in 2025, this is the first time we ever got crypto. Unless you count DC superhero pets, you know what I mean? Like, but you know what I mean? In a Superman movie, we've never gotten crypto, and that's crazy to me. So like, it's
Dwayne Johnson's DC super pets.
I know. So it's really cool. And by the way, side note, I don't know if you know, but like, crypto is actually modeled after James Gunn's real dog. Mm-hmm. It was a rescue that he has claimed that for the first 5 years of its life, living with him, it was the shittiest dog ever. And it would bite people. It just wouldn't respond to training and stuff. And something snapped after year 5, but he just wanted that. And so this dog is, if you're a crypto fan and you don't think this dog looks like crypto, well, it's because, you know, it's supposed to look more like James Gunn's dog, but whatever. But no, I do think it was just so Superman that, like, I'm happy because I think I came out of this movie with my wife asking me more questions about things, you know, and not just Superman, but like, boy, did she have a lot of questions about Mr. Terrific. And let's be honest, that guy was kind of like the breakout star of this movie. Like,
his stock rose significantly.
He's got a skin in Fortnite today.
You might have to grab him.
Yeah, no, that character was so cool, and for the actor, I think it's Edie Gathegi, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy for him because it's a total redemption of the last time he was in a superhero movie and played Darwin, the guy who can't die, and then somehow dies in that movie.
I didn't mind that too much.
X-Men First Class. It is the most offensive thing you could do to the character who can't die. It is so stupid. And so I was just so happy that because, you know, obviously it's been like, what? How long? When did First Class come out?
Oh, God. 10 years?
Was it 10? Well, clearly this guy hasn't touched a superhero movie for at least 10 years. And I'm so happy that he came back and knocked it out of the park with Mr. Terrific. This character is so awesome. So much of his lore gets thrown into that movie. You get way more Mr. Terrific lore than you do Green Lantern or Hawk Girl. And I think that was the reason, like, I couldn't vibe completely with Hawk Girl. I do like that she killed the president of Bravia at the end of the movie. That is questionable. There's questionable, like, ramifications that will happen in the long term if we get more movies. Mm-hmm. But I think she just never sold it completely for me. Nathan Fillion he's just doing his Nathan Fillion thing as always. I'm not mad
He's
at
Captain Hammer. It's Captain Hammer. That's all it is.
It's always Captain Hammer, and I love him. I love him for it. It's great.
What are your thoughts on this movie in relation to Creature Commandos?
I think that this movie makes Creature Commandos look stupid. Like, I thought the whole point is that these characters are going to be played by the same actors and they're going to look the same and stuff. Why did Frank Grillo not have white hair? I was kind of weirded out, but why did
he's going to be in Peacemaker?
Yeah, but he was the most white-haired dude other than James Gunn in the credits of that cartoon. And then he's not white-haired in this movie. And I was like, what's going on here? But no, honestly, I just felt like you have all this Bravia stuff and all this
Bravia's country that was in Creature Commandos.
Is it the same? Is it the same
right?
country?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I wanted, if it was, I wanted more connection to that.
Keep talking.
But yeah, no, I just didn't. I kept thinking about like, this is the connection between this and Creature Commandos doesn't feel very.
No, you're right. It's Pokolistan.
Yeah, Pokolistan. So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it would have mattered more if it was more connected or something. But just having Rick Flag Sr. in the movie, it just felt like it's a little much. It's a little much. I do want to say, like, there's so many other things that happen in this movie that like just made the world so much more lived in and interesting. Like, Lex Luthor created a pocket universe. Mm-hmm. I mean, that pocket universe is super cool. It's where he keeps all his enemies, and also incidentally, he keeps his ex-girlfriends there. That is wild and awesome to me. Like,
it gave me enough conceit because I don't think it was a shocker going in that Ultraman was going to be a Superman clone.
Right. Right.
That's kind of.
It's in the lore. It's in the lore. It's
part of the lore. It's a different dimension.
No, right? Well, no. Connor Kent is a clone of Superman, so it's not a wild leap that Lex Luthor would make a clone of Superman.
Yeah.
In fact, in Superman 4: Quest for Peace, he actually, because it's the fourth Superman movie. And the plot point of that movie is he goes to a museum where they have like an exhibit on Superman, and there's a strand of Superman's hair holding like an anvil suspended in the museum, and he goes with his special like designed scissors or whatever that he's made, and he cuts it and he brings it, and he uses that to make a villain for Superman that you could argue was like a clone before they knew what clones were back then. So like the concept of taking, his hair from a battlefield and making a clone, it's been established in movies before. And honestly, it's in the comics. He's just like, Lex is all about cloning Superman. But what I do think is interesting about having an evil Superman in this movie is it really works for me because of the plot twist that we keep skipping around on, which is in this movie, he loves listening to this message of peace and hopefulness that was given to him by his parents, his Kryptonian parents, Jor-El and Zara-El, I think. And it's really cool, but he's always like, it's a point in the story is that it's unfortunate that he never gets to hear the whole message because it was damaged in the crash, right? And so but you see how this man has based his entire purpose for living on this planet of giving himself to humanity to serve them and to be a force for good. He believes that not only did his parents raise him to be that way, but also it was his like purpose always, because the people who sent him here did that. And it's later in the movie when Lex Luthor breaks into the Fortress of Solitude and Engineer hacks the Kryptonian technology, and she discovers that she was able to repair the damaged footage, and you find out that it was actually closer to a Viltrumite story that was the intent, right? Like it was, you're going to go there and be stronger than everybody, my son, and you will conquer them, and only the strongest will survive under your watch, blah, blah, blah. And it's a really dark thing, and they make a big point of saying, like, it's fake, it's doctored. And they're like, no, bro, it's not doctored. It's for real. It's for real. And that's a crisis. It's a moment of a crisis of faith that Superman has, because, you know, he felt like everything he done was because of this. Thankfully, it's a short-lived crisis of faith, because he goes home, visits Pa and Ma, and he remembers, oh yeah,
talks it up.
My beliefs are what make me, and this doesn't change who I believe I am, you know. And I think the coolest part about that, when I was talking to Frank about it, is he was like, right now I'm okay with this little change to the lore, but I might change my mind later. That's what Frank was telling me. And I was saying, the way I see it is there are an infinite number of improbabilities that have to happen for Superman to be the most pure, good being there is on the planet. And we've seen lots of stories where any one of those improbabilities doesn't happen, right? There's famously a story where Superman's spaceship lands in Russia. That does not go well. There's a Marvel version of Hyperion where it does land in the rural, you know, part of America, except the government comes, murders the family, takes the baby, and they raise it, you know, under government watch. That does not go well. We've seen a Brightburn movie actually written by James Gunn, where he does not, it's a similar story to Superman, but like that kid doesn't grow up right? Like it's very easy to see all the things that can go wrong if he doesn't get that exact combination of upbringing and moral, you know, strength. And, you know, I was joking with Frank, the worst version, honestly, is he just ends up having Kevin Costner as his dad. That's the worst thing you could ever do for his moral compass. But like the reality is, like, I don't think I have a problem with this at this point. I'm just considering the multiverses, right? This multiverse has another one of the really, really, really good Supermans. And it just so happens that one of the reasons is a technicality. I don't think I mind that, because like it's still, it doesn't take away from who he is as a person.
I think it makes, if and when a Zod shows up,
it makes it easier.
It makes it easier. It makes that, I'm just a better story, but like, okay. Yeah, I instantly know why Zod is pissed when he comes here. Right? Yeah,
it sets up that story really easy, right? Like Superman's the weirdo now in this story. And so yeah, I agree. It's something that I can dismiss that so easily, because it's like, okay, it doesn't change the fact that for the last 30 years of his life, this is the message that he had, and this is the message that informed his decision to become who he is. So yeah, it's cool. It's a cool thing. Is there anything else you want to talk about? What about Lois, Jimmy, all the other supporting cast?
What do you think? They're fun. I think they're great. They're well casted. Their side quest mission towards the end of the movie lost me. I could care less about what they were doing, who was doing it.
It felt very much like my Adventures with Superman cartoon.
Mm-hmm. But it's gonna sound mean, but like, I'm paying to see a Superman movie. I want to see Superman do Superman shit, not see. I mean, but I want to see superhero people do superhero shit, not the non-powered people.
But the people of the Daily Planet are superheroes too.
I need powers. Okay. I need the powers doing power. Like, people need to be doing power stuff.
But there's a reason that Lois is Superman's girlfriend.
Yeah,
you know, and it's because she wields a lot of power, man. She really does. And she's a voice for good also, you know. And so like I think it's cool that like she's what undoes Lex in the end, right? Like Lex's whole plan falls apart because
he loses the power of the press. Like,
yeah,
cool.
It's almost like it. It's art imitating life. It's almost like that.
Has there been a Superman movie without Lois?
No, because that's yes, there is. Superman 3.
Okay, I was just asking.
Superman 3 is he goes back to Smallville and visits Lana. Yeah, and see Cow Soda has this to say. He did fall into that crazy in the pocket dimension. Superman fell into that river that Mr. Terrific got done describing as like, no, if you even fall in that, your molecules will get torn to shreds, and then like nothing happens to Superman. And
yeah, that was kind of weird.
He went, but he was holding the baby up out of the river the entire time. Metamorphosed.
He fell into the Minecraft river.
I think Mr. Terrific was implying that it would destroy normal people. You know what I mean? Yes, the Minecraft river, whatever you want to call it. I'm not mad at it, but she is right. He literally did that. So
yeah, kicking Ultraman into the black hole was interesting as well. That sets up some cool stuff.
It could be a setup for Bizarro, or you know what I mean?
An actual Ultraman.
Oh well, sorry. I yes, or an actual Ultraman. I did forget. I lost my thread though. Like the point I was going to make was I'm actually really okay with all these weird improbabilities hinting at like, wow, we got so close to this Clark not being the best one ever, right? But then at the same time, this movie shows you a version that's not good. And so like it's an even easier juxtaposition. It's like, well, there's a bad one, and then here's the best one. You know what I mean? And I think that's this movie could have been considered very bloated with the amount of characters are in it.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of villains he fights in this movie. And somehow I was okay with one of the fights being a clone of himself.
That's kind of my least favorite trope in modern superhero movies when they do the lookalike villains, like Black Panther's fight with Killmonger at the end,
or Logan,
the Ant-Man's fight with
Yellow Jacket.
Like it's like
but it didn't take up too much space in this movie.
No, it didn't. I'm happy. It was entertaining. It wasn't. I don't think it's bad. It's just like that's the personal
Lex
preference.
was still the villain of this movie, and I think that was really cool.
I'll be slightly more upset if there's a.
I'm gonna be pissed.
If Bizarro is like the next villain, right?
Oh, you know what I mean? Bizarro? You don't like Bizarro?
Give me Brainiac.
I feel I understand.
Give me Brainiac. Give me Brainiac.
I think Brainiac we do deserve a Brainiac because
like is he the Avengers villain or the Justice League villain? You know what I mean? Like
Brainiac's badass. He's a badass villain that does not have to be Darkseid. You know, you don't have to jump straight to Darkseid. So yeah, no, Brainiac's a pretty good one. I like Brainiac. I also like, smaller tier villains like Parasite. I love Parasite. I think he's cool. He's a very dangerous person because if he touches you, he takes your power. I think the coolest thing you could ever do if you are doing a World's Finest, which is the rumor, right, is that the next one would be a World's Finest. Brainiac can't steal crap from Batman. Or I mean Parasite. Parasite can't steal crap from Batman. That's kind of like that's why Batman. That's why you got to keep Batman around. Whenever Parasite shows up, you throw Batman in front of him.
We need a Batman. Shit, we got Supergirl next. Clayface is in the pipe, and Batman's just cooking.
I also think one of my favorite parts of the denouement of this movie was, "Thanks for taking care of my dog, bitch." That was not the Supergirl I expected, and I loved it. I loved it so much. She reminds me of like so many episodes of Rick and Morty, just like finding other planets to go party at because like you can't get drunk or high in on the planet.
I mean that scene sets up like interesting, like, okay, Superman is very aware of space and what's out there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's true. All right. I think I'm done praising this. I want to put this one to bed. What are you going to give it as a score?
It's an 8. It's an 8. Solid 8. I don't think it's bad.
I wanted to give it a 9 because of the aspirational qualities of it, but I'll split the difference and call this an 8.5. If I would have cried,
best superhero movie of the year so far.
Oh, this is way better than any superhero movie that's come out this year so far. And Fantastic Four has some big shoes to fill for sure. Do I think that this movie is better than any Guardians movie? Nope. I don't think it is, but I only because it didn't make me cry. That's the only reason. That's it. If it would have made me cry, I would have been over here like saying like it's at least a 9.5. 9.5. You get 1 full point for making me cry. So try harder next time, James Gunn.
Well, you try harder, we'll try harder. I think we're back on the Marvel train next week, right?
We can, or we can watch Superman, whichever you want. Which would you rather watch? Another Marvel movie or the original Superman?
Or the original Fantastic Four.
If you find it, I'll watch it with you. Okay.
Oh man. Oh, maybe we'll tune in next week because you don't know what we're watching.
All right, fair enough. Good stuff.
Alrighty, and with that, true believers,